Who is the lover? Allah. Who is Ar-Rahman? Allah. Who is Al-Mannan? La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah. Muhammad is the messenger. To Allah is our return. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadur Rasulullah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I send the warmest greetings to you, and I give the warmest greetings to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to the man who came from the east, from the city of Mecca, and who brought the last, the final revelations to mankind. And it's because of this man that it brings all of our hearts together, right? Because really we could truly be divided. Of course, this country knows about division. You can really be divided by color or by whatever. You can be divided. But alhamdulillah, Islam, and only Islam, is what's going to bring all of our hearts together. Yeah? Only Islam is going to bring all of our hearts together and bring us under one understanding of what? I love you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know you, but you say Assalamu alaikum, you pray your 5 prayers a day, you're my brother. Until you prove otherwise. But the thing is that if I love you for the sake of Allah, the fact that someone tells you this, you know, Akhi, wallahi, I love you for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean? That means you're welcome into my home, man. You're welcome into my house for 3 days. You share the food that I have. You share the comfort that I have in my house for 3 days. And if I love you, I'll even give you more. You know, but at least you have the 3 days. Now, so the first thing in trying to understand how to be a da'iyah is, yes, I can. Yes, I can. You can do this. You can do it. How can you do it? Because you want to do it. You do it because you want to do it. You wake up in the morning and say, man, I want to call people to Islam. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. You have to want to do it. But first you have to make that change in yourself, right? You have to make that change in yourself. Because Allah says that He will not change the condition of the people until they change the condition of themselves. Right? And you have to make that change in yourself. The change that you want to see in the world, you have to make that change within yourself. It has to be within yourself first. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm going to make him change his ways. So you're looking at the man in the mirror. So you're going to make that man change his ways. And that's what you want to do. You want to be, what's that image that you want to be? What's the image that you want to be? What's the image that you want to show the world? What is that image that you want to show the world? Yani, who do you want to imitate behind? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr, Umar, any of the Sahabas you have. Who do you want to imitate? To make that person you. When you look in the mirror, do you really see Abdullah? Do you really see Muhammad? Do you really see Ahmed? Do you really see in the mirror? Do you really see it? Now, so, what is your intention? What is your intention as a da'iyah? Because, again, it starts with the character, right? It has to be the character change. Because the people have to be able to look at you and understand, oh, what is this? This guy is different. This character has to, you have the right character. So now, what is your intention? That's the first thing. What is your intention? Why do you want to be a da'iyah? Why do you want to call people to Islam? Do you want to do it why? Because you want the people to say, oh, he's a great da'iyah? You want to do it for Allah, you want to do it for the dunya? And you know, as well as I know, how many times have we gone into people's offices that are saying Islam, peace, and this, and you go into the office and the mudir looks at you as if you were I mean, he looks at you in a night-night way. Yeah? Right? You go into the office, Assalamu alaikum, akhi. You know, he goes, you know, you go in, Assalamu alaikum, akhi. How are you? Fine, thank you. Yes, what do you want? Is that warm? No. Is that warm? Or, Assalamu alaikum, how you doing? MashaAllah, man. How you doing today, my brother? MashaAllah, show me some love. Give me some love, brother. Give me some love. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you, brother? You know what I'm saying? So how do you want, you know, what are you doing? How are you portraying yourself to the people? How are you portraying yourself to the people? Yes? The other thing, the lie I told the truth on me. You have to be sincere in your dawah. Because if you're not sincere in your dawah, it's not going to work, man. But the people are going to see right through it. So you got to be sincere. You know, you got to just do you. Just do you. You know, just do you. And be goodful. Always tell the truth. So you don't have to remember what you said. Right? Always tell the truth. So that you don't have to remember how did I say? What did I say? We don't need to lie. If you don't know, you tell the people, no, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with telling people that you don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know. But I tell you what, give me some time and I'll find out for you. Make sure when you're giving dawah, your shoes are clean and you smell nice. That was the reason why I gave you the perfume. Make sure your shoes are clean because that's the first thing people look at. First thing people look at your shoes.
Not your head.
No. Check it out.
Socks don't have holes.
Well, you don't, as if you're wearing slippers. And but you make sure, that you look nice and you smell nice. And especially your breath. Make sure your breath smells good.
100%.
Because you're talking to someone. A brother actually from South Africa told me that they have the newsstand, the women sells the newspapers from the newsstand, yeah? He used to pass by every day and he used to speak to the woman and buy a newspaper, and he used to smell nice. And he would just say, good morning, mom, I have this newspaper, and that was it. And he would go on his way. Until one day, a week or something after this, she said, boy, what are you? He said, ma'am, I'm a Muslim. She said, then I want to be like this. Just from smelling nice and buying a newspaper? So really, it's important that, that your personality, and the way that you carry yourself is very important. It's very important because the people look at you and they want to see what makes you different from someone else? What makes your religion different from my religion? What makes you different? Why? So your presentation, the way that you look, the way that you smell, the way that you carry yourself is very important. Remember that it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that makes the Muslims, not you. You don't make Muslims. Man. If that was the case, my mother would have been Muslim, my father would have, man, everybody would have been Muslim for me. No. It's your duty to call. It's Allah's duty to change the hearts of the people. It's Allah's duty to change the hearts of the people. And if that's the case, right, remember the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his uncle, Abu Talib. SubhanAllah. Who loved the Prophet Muhammad more than Abu Talib? Abu Talib protected the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He protected him. He loved him. But yet, what happened at the end? I'm going to follow the way of my fathers. And that's the thing in our dawah, right? Our dawah, The last people that will accept Islam from you will be your mother and your father, or your sister and your brothers. Those people who are closest to you, they'll be the last people to accept the Islam from you. Right? Because your father says, son, you came from my seed. Your mama say, darling, you came from my stomach. Your sister will say, I changed your diaper when you was a baby. And you're going to come tell me? So your family will be the hardest to convince. But you can do it because they will be the first to see the change in you. They will be the first to see the change in you. Because they knew the way you were then, and they see the way you changed to now. But your neighbor 3 doors down will probably accept Islam 3 times over before they will. And it's okay. We just pray for them. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide them. Yeah? Now, so, we want to look sharp, be sharp, look sharp, be sharp. And that's what you want to be. Look sharp and be sharp. Character. Your character is very important because that's what brought the people around the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's what brought them to Islam. He was the Al Amin before he got the Deen, right? He was the Al Amin before he got the Deen. That kind of rhymes, doesn't it? He was the Al Amin before he got the Deen. Yes, he was. And that's what brought in his character, because he was kind. Kindness, man. We need to be kind. We need to be humble. And we need to be polite. Because this is what attracts people to the Deen. If we're not doing this, then how are you gonna bring, without some sweetness, how are you gonna bring them into the Deen? We gotta be, and the thing is, and they're watching you, that's the thing. You think people aren't watching, the people are watching you, sure. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, I'm watching my time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blesses people with knowledge. But this guy has knowledge and he has no character whatsoever on how to give that knowledge off. But he has the knowledge, but he doesn't have the character. And then he blesses some people with the character, right? But this guy don't know, he doesn't have the knowledge. It's only when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses someone with the character and the knowledge that this person becomes the sheikh. A real sheikh. He becomes the sheikh. So that's the thing we have to try to do. We want to become the sheikh, so we have to have the knowledge and we have to have the character. Remember, Noah gave dawah for how many years? 950 years. 950. 950. He gave dawah for 950 years. And how many people did he take on the boat with him?
Maybe 300.
And lost his son at that.
That's one.
And lost his son. So the thing is, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that makes the Muslims. It's up to us just to call. Remember, our religion is a way, it's not just a religion, it's a way of life. So that means we have to live it. Right? It's a way of life. It's not just a religion. Right? It's not just because we pray 5 times a day, we make zikr every day, in our minds, we remind ourselves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we seek Allah's forgiveness, we make dua when we go into the bathroom, we come out the bathroom, we go into the house, we come out the house, we get in the car, we make dua. We are constantly remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so it's a way of life. It's not just a religion, because we don't just go to the masjid on Friday. Never, 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 ever lie about your religion. Again, going back to what I said, we always tell the truth. Always. If you don't know, again, just simply say you don't know. Tell me. He says, now you be thinking to yourself, man, I don't really know that much about Islam, so how am I going to call the people to the deen? How am I going to do this, because I'm not really, I don't really know that much about Islam. But Allah says, convey, even if it's only one ayah. Convey, even if it's only one ayah. Convey, tell them. And when you're talking to the people about Islam, man, don't give them a lot. Give them a little. What I do, I have a thing which I call a project. When I see someone at work or, someone who's with me at school, someone that I see has some love for Islam, that, you can see something in him that maybe, it's a project. So that brother right there, I'm going to work with this brother. Man, I'm going to come every day. I'm going to speak to you. I'm going to be generous to you. I'm going to give you oil. I'm going to give you dates. I'm going to give you coffee. I'm going to be a big brother for you, man. Why? Because I appreciate you, man. I don't want nothing from you, I just want to be your friend, man. It's all right? All right, man. You need me, man, you call me. Right? You know what my mom told me? My mom told me that when I was little. My mom told me that there was only one God. And that this man from the West, he was some prophet. I'll see you tomorrow. See you the next day. Give him another hadith. Give him another small ayat of Quran. Every day, just give him a little bit. Don't need to sit down and give him a lot. Just give him a little bit. Every day, give him a little, because then the next day, he's going to, like that little piece of candy I gave you. The next day, he's going to be waiting for that piece of candy. What did your mom tell you? Tell me something else that your mom told you. Say something else that your mom told you, right? Until he wants to sit down and have a conversation with you. And then boom, you start talking. He says, call, invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and fair preaching, and argue with them in a way that is better. So we got to use this head when we call people to Islam. Think of different ways, Invite someone to lunch or invite them to dinner, come over, you know what I'm saying? That was one thing that when I accepted Islam. I accepted Islam, I was on a program. I was an officer in training, I was on a ship. And I'm looking at these ships out here on the ocean, I'm saying, wow, I remember life out there. It's a wonderful life on the ship. And the chief engineer, he was a Native American. We call them, they're not Indians, they were Native, we call them Native Americans. Wasn't Muslim, and at the beginning, I was practicing Zen Buddhism. I've been through my changes, and I was at that point, I was a Buddhist. So he gave me a book called Siddhartha, which is a really good book if you ever want to read it. It's a good book, really good reading. And it's by a German author called Hermann Hesse. So he gave me this book, and I read it, and I gave it back to him. And he said, Mr. Bennett, I see that you're looking for the truth. What do you know about Malcolm X? I said, Malcolm who? What do you know about Malcolm X? I said, who's Malcolm X? Now, this is a Native American telling me, how could you be black and not know about Malcolm X? I'm like, man, I'm Mr. Black. What you talking about? I didn't know who Malcolm X was. Can you believe that? I'm a university student. I didn't know anything about Malcolm X. He gave me the book on Malcolm X. He gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X. I read that book. By the time I got to the middle of that book, I said, man, this is what I'm looking for, man. I'm looking for brother. I ain't have a problem with Jesus. I ain't have a problem with, I was looking for brotherhood. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for brotherhood. And when I was reading Malcolm's book and when he made Hajj, I said, man, this is what I want, man. I want to be like that. I want to be a Muslim. That's what I want. So I'm on a ship. I'm at the top of the world because we're up at the Arctic. We passed Siberia. We're going up to the North Pole. The ship I was on was a research ship, so we were following the gray whale, and you know, I mean, icebergs. I mean, huge icebergs. You know, and I'm like, alhamdulillah, the way Allah did it, because I was able to clean, because I was like talking about drugs. Astaghfirullah. Alhamdulillah. But on that ship, I was able to clean myself, clean my thoughts, and then Allah blessed me with this Islam. Wallahi, akhi.
Yeah,
At the top of the world, brother. SubhanAllah. When I decided I wanted to become Muslim, there are 2 laws on the ship that you don't do. You don't gamble and get into debt. And you don't talk about politics or religion on the ship. You don't do that. Because these things make people angry. And you know, the ship is very big. And the engine is always running, right? So you have this noise. You have this noise constantly. So if you ever were to make someone angry, right? What's to prevent that boy from throwing you overboard? Now you're going into water that you're gonna die within 2 seconds. Because the water is below freezing. So once you hit the water, you're gonna go into shock, you're gonna die. Even if you could say, help, help, help. How you gonna help, help? You ain't gonna, right? So you don't do things that make people angry. Unfortunately, I'm still new. I really didn't know. I'm found out that somehow reading Malcolm's book, I found out that it was Ramadan, and so I started fasting, like just drinking juices. Now I'm a member of the wardroom. The wardroom is the officers' room. Only the officers eat in the room. I'm a member of the wardroom. And so now I'm fasting, just drinking juices. That's a no-no. How are you doing this, man? You're supposed to be eating dinner with the captain and everybody like that. Anyway, long story short, they said that because I wasn't fit, I wasn't being disciplined and cohesion with the officers. So they transferred me to another ship, which was, mashallah, which was a blessing. I was hurt. And this lets you know, when bad things happen to you, expect the good things to come. In the ma'us yusra. After hardship, there's always ease. Right? And I'm feeling bad, and they're saying, okay, you're fraternizing. Because I was talking to the members of the crew. There was no Muslims on the ship, so I was talking to them. Anyway, so they sent me to another ship. They said they wanted to send me to the ship because the other captain was black on the ship. Alhamdulillah. So this was in California, San Francisco. Do you know Treasure Island? You know Treasure Island? It's a Navy base. It's between San Francisco and Oakland. It's crossed by the Golden Gate Bridge. It's right below the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. We ran across it, the bridge.
No.
We saw it.
Yeah. So anyway, we came back down and we landed in Seattle, and then they transferred me to this other ship. And then I took the plane to California, from Washington to California. It was a Friday. The executive officer came and met me at the airport, and then he took me to the ship Friday. Nobody's on the ship. He took me, he said, this is your room. Bye, I'm going home to my family. I'm on the ship by myself, in my room. Alhamdulillah. In Malcolm's book, he talks about jazz musicians being Muslim and this, So I had an idea remember that my intention was to meet Muslims. This was my intention. So I said I wanted to go to San Francisco to go to a jazz club because I wanted to meet Muslims. This is my intention. A little bit warped, but that was my intention. So when the evening came, I went up to the bus stop. I got on the bus. The bus driver said, you have to cross the street. That's the wrong bus. Cross the street, catch the bus on the other side. The bus pulls away. A car pulls up. This man says, how can I help you? I said, well, I wanted to go to San Francisco. I wanted to go to a jazz.